Hi everyone, and I just wanted to show you very quickly before we go ahead and make some cards these beautiful glitter embossing powders. I've got Fairy Tale, Emerald City and Velvet. They've got powder and glitter combined in one, and it is just gorgeous and shimmery. So I just wanted to quickly show you. I have already done these background patterns here by using the Wow Pop, and you can see here it's a full cover of an A2 card background. It's beautiful, and we've also brought in this Born to Sparkle stamp set. So I've got these rectangle stitch dies from Honeybee, and I'm just going to cut out of this and to mat it on some cardstock. So we've got the Wow embossing powder pad, we've got the Opaque white in regular, Opaque bright white, and then we've also got the sentiment. I've got some here's the stamp set here, which is absolutely fun to use and matches glitter. And also here I've got some MFT stitched arch die cutouts already in white. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to heat emboss with using the resist technique. And Wow embossing powder, you don't really need to prep your cardstock, so I've just got a little bit of powder there, and I thought I'd just brush it over quickly just in case if I had some sticky hands. I just thought just in case I'd just prep it. And I'm going to have a A4 piece of copy paper here that I folded in half just to catch the actual rest of the powder that I will tip over once I've covered the sentiment quite fully. And you can see I really need to brush any excess off. It's really good, this embossing powder, and I just have little movement and prep that I need to do. So I've got the bigger of the arch here, and I'm using another sentiment from the same stamp set. I'm going to do 3 because I'm going to make 3 cards in total. I'm pouring over the embossing powder and then heat setting it with the heat gun. So I've done 3 here. You can't see it. The beauty about the resist technique is once you apply ink, you can see the sentiment come to surface, which is the beautiful surprise element to using the resist technique. So I'm just fiddling here. As you see, I've mounted the actual background, this rectangle background, on some cardstock. I brought in some Lawn Fawn juice box ink for one to match the cardstock and the theme, the purple theme. And as you see here, all I'm doing is using a blending tool, and I'm starting off by patting some of the ink on there so it's not going to be so I suppose you can see the sponge, as you're also using circular technique, and I am being gentle starting off then working my way on. Now what I'll do is after I've done each one, I'll actually to make the actual embossing powder stand out more, I will use a tissue paper which I'll wipe, which will make the sentiment become more clear and the opaque white embossing powder come to life. So I've got Simon Says Stamp SCUBA ink here as well, and I'm just starting off again. As you can see, now I wipe down my craft mat, and it is great to use a craft mat of some sort. It just makes it easier for blending, starting off and working on, and it's also easier for cleaning. So I'm just starting off, working my way in. I've got a copy paper here just to protect, and I'm not going to place my my fingers and get a fingerprint, I suppose, and wreck the actual sponging process. So just giving this a good coating of color, working my way right around the actual MFT stitched arch die. And as you can see, the sentiment just comes to life. It's so awesome. Just love this technique. Now I have used Distress Oxide ink in the walnut in this one. Now because I have used the Distress Oxide ink, it does leave the ink on top of the actual embossed sentiment. So once you see that I've actually wiped the ink on top of the embossing, it will just come right off, and the opaque white embossing powder just comes to life. So just adding a little bit more. And you can see when I bring in my tissue paper, this just comes to life. So I do that with all of the sentiments. And I mount them on. I've just brought quickly into vision one of my embellishment trays, and I keep them in acrylic trays and it just stacks up. I've got some wood veneers, some pretty pink posh clear sequins in a multi assortment of millimeters, and then also some pretty pink posh dewdrops. And I'm just going to use this to adhere, add, I suppose, the finish embellishing of it all. And just behind that velvet in that purple theme there, I have included a layer of vellum behind it. I just felt it just needed that extra bit of layer. Otherwise there's going to be too much white space, whereas I've used the bigger arch on these ones here. So I felt like it didn't need extra vellum. So I've used foam mount tape to make sure these are adhered down securely, and I'm just got some multi-matte medium adhesive from Ranger, and I'm just making sure all my embellishments I have used to adhere down with. So I've got my Stars wood veneers here that I've brought in part of my embellishment tray, just one of them. No, I think I've only got two, so it's not too bad. And I have sorted them out in beautiful little jars, or yeah, that's just me. All right, so I've brought in, well, I'm just mounting the actual arched die cut. Nearly forgot about adding the foam to that one, and just using the pretty pink posh sequins here, the clear sequins, and I'm just fiddling around using my quick sticks pick me up tool, which I absolutely love, and just being clear. Oh, I've actually used the dewdrops for that one, sorry, beg my pardon. Okay, so here I am bringing them into view. They're quite fun, easy cards to do, so easy to do and easily mass produced. So I hope you enjoyed this color combo and watching the resist technique come to life, and using various inks. I was able to use distress inks and normal dye inks, and it just worked fantastic. So thank you for watching. See you later.